Tunisia is going through a period of transition, but one way the country plans to fight extremism and secure a better economic future is through education. Earlier, I caught up with Mahmoud Triki. He's the Dean of the Mediterranean School of Business. So thank you very much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for visiting us.
No problem. So tell us a bit about the school and how it was born and what you now offer here.
Well, the school was established 10 years ago. This is the first English-speaking institution. We believe the founders of SMU, South Mediterranean University, believe that teaching English is the best way to contribute to the integration of the Tunisian economy, the world economy. And from a marketing point of view, we wanted to differentiate ourselves, whereas all other institutions teaching French, we teach in English. Another thing, we wanted to contribute to making Tunisia a regional hub of educational excellence. With the emergence of the knowledge economy, I believe that education becomes a strategic sector and countries and individuals invest heavily in education as a means of achieving economic prosperity.
So post-revolution a few years ago, how have you felt seen that help maybe the business school? Has it helped the educational sector, or has it just remained the same?
No, we started first as a university, we had to start somewhere. We started by the area of my specialty, which is management. So we created the first school, was the Mediterranean School of Business, MSB. And we started by an executive education program whereby we associated some of the top-ranked business schools and faculty to come and teach. Then gradually we introduced full-time programs. Now we offer an executive education program, plus we offer full-time undergraduate and graduate. This year we are opening the engineering school, which is named the Mediterranean Institute of Technology.
Okay, well, this is a very exciting opportunity, and of course, finding strategic partners in terms of other universities and corporates is obviously high in the agenda. What would you say to maybe a mixed reaction from maybe different regions in terms of the stability of Tunisia?
Tunisia is a very stable country. Tunisia has been in existence for thousands of years. It is a fact that Tunisia is going through a transition period, and you cannot talk about stability in a transition period, whereby you have different parties, different views, but the main thing is that Tunisians, and Tunisia remains one of the most tolerant societies in the Arab and Islamic world, and its strategic location in the heart of the Mediterranean makes it an ideal platform to develop its educational sector. And I'm a strong believer that Tunisia can develop an export sector in education along the lines of some countries like Australia, which generates lots of hard currency through foreign students.
And how important you're obviously very passionate about education and how it's going to really help the Tunisian economy. So how would you put into a nutshell how important education is to maybe stamp out something like extremism, where other countries may not have necessarily had that much success with?
No, I think that, again, I go back to our culture and heritage, whereby Tunisia has been crossroad of civilizations. So talking now about extremism does not worry me. Talking about the transition period, yes, I admit it, I accept it, and this is beneficial to let all the parties voice their views, and Tunisia will find its equilibrium as a tolerant society and an open society. Any investor who fears that Tunisia is unstable, I can only tell them this is the moment to come to Tunisia and invest in Tunisia, because it's in periods of instability, if you may call it, but I call it a transition that you can strike the best deals, and that's where you can really consider Tunisia as an investment platform.
Okay, and maybe rounding off and looking into the future, we talk about, obviously, Tunisia is in a transition period, and of course there's lots of long-term opportunities. With the US, the business school here has a lot of strategic ties. There's been a lot of good feedback from, obviously, University of Maryland and other universities as well, and scholars from all over the place in the US. But do you find maybe there's some misconceptions or not understanding the long-term opportunities in Tunisia from other regions other than the US that's preventing them from coming here?
Let me tell you, although despite our young age, our vision and the potential of Tunisia makes prominent schools bet on us, bet on Tunisia and joining us. And it is a fact that our vision is not only for North America, but to be a platform for Europeans. Besides, we are much closer to Europe than to the US. And Europe has a lot to offer to the Maghreb and to the African continent. So our aim is to develop our network of relationships with prominent schools or universities. In the US, we started from there because I spent all my education was in the US, but again, I look forward to expanding this to other European schools, on top of which the UK, because of language affinities.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, and thank you again for being with us.